Hello people, my name is John Mark. I'm a producer from Germany and my artist alias is Teknoclash. And I just talked with my friend from Zen World, hello, about making a tutorial which is related to basic producing theories and how you can achieve certain points of quality, what you have to look for when you mix something, about stereo imaging, bus compression and other points we are talking deeply. This is my studio. We are here based in Gelsenkirchen, Germany. I'm gonna tell you shortly what I'm using. I'm using as monitoring speakers, I'm using the Genelec M040. They are very good speakers in the price region till 1,200 euros per pair. And I'm using Genelec 8020s for reference, for smaller sound pictures, and that I can that I can listen to it how normal people listen on their stereo system. I have a Moog Subfetti, you probably will not see it. I'm using a Virus C, which was my first synthesizer ever, and I got it as a present from DJ The Prophet, aka Dov Elkebas, one of the biggest hardstyle producers around. Shout out to that guy. Without that guy I wouldn't be here. It's simply the truth. I'm using a Virus TI2. I have the limited white edition, where I'm very proud of. I have a Rode microphone with a V-Acoustic flexi screen. I have a acoustic treatment, like you see in the background, with some LED lights just for ambience and that stuff. And yeah, this is my studio. Yeah, let's see what we can do. I have not a clean script of what we do. I'm just going over a current production of mine and show you little tricks how you can make your sounds fatter, how you can have a good mixing, what is necessary to do that you can have a good mix down, which is good for mastering. And yeah, that's what we're talking about. I hope you enjoy and I hope you stay tuned. This is my latest project where I'm currently working on. I have like, it's about 70 layers of elements, certain elements. We have here, for example, for the main lead we have like 3 instances of two massive. One is the Virus TI, which making the main lead. I choose to pick up an Arab scale, which is a bit more exotic than the normal G minor scale. And let me see if we have a synth here. Yeah, we have like, this is the normal G minor scale. It's like, and this is the normal G minor scale, but the Arab scale goes like, yeah. And so there are a couple of more notes, different notes in it, and which makes it a bit more interesting in my opinion. This is the MIDI from the melody, and together it sounds like this. So I have routed like pretty much every sound to a lead bass, which is called lead simply, and I have here like a couple of things going on. Oops, glitch, stressing around. I have a gator with the glitch, which gates the sound, so it likes this on and off and on and off and on and off stuff. But this has an bypass automation, so I activate it at certain points to make it interesting, to make it a bit floating and stuff. The next point is I'm using a UAD fatso. This is related to the UAD hardware, so you have that DSP UAD stuff, which is in my Apollo sound card, which is very, very cool. It gives a very, very warm signal, and yeah, I do it on a bus because it glues everything together. Back in the days I've used the glue, which is a very, very good compressor, and now I have this hardware compressor called the fatso, which is very, very close to the distressors, which is hardware from UAD stuff, and there you yeah, you send different EQ'd signals to a bus, which makes a lead sound complete. And in my opinion, when you apply a compressor and a reverb to the bus, it makes sounds everything more like one piece. So you hear not, okay, this is a massive instance, this is a silence one instance, this is the virus. For me, it sounds like it's one piece from like a synthesizer from outer space. So I'm doing this, and yeah, I do a little bit of sausage fattener at 6%, just to give a bit of fatness. But after the sausage fattener, I'm using an EQ to cut the low frequencies again. And yeah, I'm boosting some of them, but I'm very, very careful with boosting frequencies because yeah, if you want something louder, it's a pretty easy rule of mixing. Just put it louder. Don't try to find a certain amount of frequencies which you like, which you want to put louder, because on another sound, which is a stack of a layer, you have to cut the frequencies. For example, you have sound A, which is a lead sound, and you have sound B. And for sound B, you make boost like the frequencies from 7,400 hertz. Then you have to remove that certain amount of frequencies in sound B, because otherwise it will interrupt in your mixdown, and that is something what you really don't want. Yeah, I'm using on the bus a LFO tool from Xfer LFO tool, which I'm using pretty much for all my sidechain things, because I think it's just pretty handy, because I can draw the sidechain line I want. I used also the kickstart from Nicky Romero a couple of times, but I switched back to the LFO tool because it gives me more possibilities to sidechain a signal. And oops, that was Studio One. It happens sometime with the Nicky Romero sidechain plugin. So Nicky Romero, there would be an update. Very cool, buddy. And so we have to open it again. Sorry for the interruption. And Yeah, an update would be very cool, Nikki. Yeah, what else can I explain you in the meanwhile? It's easy to explain. A lot of people on the internet mix their stuff too dry. They're making their lead sounds very, very dry. And if you put like a dry signal, it doesn't sound very, very fat. So when you, for example, you make a lead stack and then you apply just like a little bit of reverb, it sounds very dry. I made that mistake in my very first days. Thanks to Rick Mitchells, who explained me to use more reverb. I had a studio session with the guys from Bass Modulators, a very pretty famous hardstyle duo, and the guy is called Rick Mitchells, and he explained me how to reverb. Yeah, there was the sentence, "Bitch, do you even reverb?" They was fooling me with that sentence for a couple of weeks or days, and as I was in Amsterdam, because they think it was so funny that I didn't use reverb. Yeah, it was my fault. So when you use reverb, it's okay in my opinion to use it over when you go to Massive and you apply a reverb here in the FX section. I don't do it because I'm doing all my reverbs over a send button, over a send channel, which is called the UAD Reverb 1. I have a longer reverb. I have the UAD Reverb 2, which is a short reverb. And I have the huge reverb, so I have like 3 reverb channels, which makes, which comes as last thing on the bus. So I apply that huge reverb to the bus, like the drop bus or the lead bus, to achieve that it has a common reverb, which makes everything sound as one, like I explained you with the bus compression. And in my opinion, that's a very good way. I'm using the UAD Lexicon 224 reverb in that case. I'm using a certain amount of reverbs. I'm having like the Lexicon, the Lex Room. I'm having like the LX 480, which is also from Lexington. And I'm using, of course, for the big rooms, the big Valhalla Room, which is in my opinion one of the best reverbs next to the Lexicon 224 UAD reverb, which is running over the hardware, which just sounds amazing in my opinion. And I'm doing a couple of things. I'm doing a stereo whitening on the reverb, because you don't want your reverb in the center, you want it on the sides. But to stereo imaging, I come in a couple of minutes. I explain you everything. And I'm EQing the reverb. I'm cutting around 2 dB at 260 till 270 dB hertz. Excuse me, 260 till 270 hertz. Because there it starts to get muddy. And I low cut at around 100 hertz. Oh, yeah, I was too lazy. I cut it at 90 hertz. Here's it's cut everything below 100 hertz. Simply, which something what has no bass in it, just cut it from 100 hertz, in my opinion. Yeah, snares, percussions, lead sounds, everything. Just cut it away. You never need it. And then there is a very sweet sweet technique, which I learned from some Dutch guys. It is, you apply to the reverb a compressor. That compressor, you activate the side chaining. So what you do then is you take, for example, the media of the melody and say that this is the trigger of the side chaining for the compressor. So the effect of it is that your reverb is when the note is played, is dry, and just on the tail of the notes or on the release, there comes the reverb, so it makes everything drier. Be careful with it, don't apply it too much because then it sounds too dry, but it is a very handy function to keep the reverb clean, because reverb mixing is yeah, it's a hell of work. It's very hard, and yeah, so that was the thing about the reverb. I use it as an FX channel, as an effect channel, and I apply it as a send with different send amounts. Here I have, for example, I have the send off at -6. I'm lazy on that one. Oh, -6. This one is -12. This one is again -6. Okay. This one should be different. No. Yeah, but for example here it's these are certain claps where I just applied a little reverb, and I low cutted them very hard because I just used them as fill in the background. Here, this is a project of mine. We go to another point now. It's pretty hot in Germany, so I just picked up a Krombacher beer. Yeah, I know we're famous for making beer, and I just talked about reverb stuff and some other things what I'm doing, and to be honest, there are so many different ways to do certain things, or to make a good track, or to achieve a cool sort of track, and but there are a certain amount of rules on the other side which are just there, and I'm not talking about basic music theory, like how you play a melody or something like this, because this is totally up to you, and it's yeah, what I want to explain you is that there is yeah, there are different ways to achieve certain things, but a simple rule is when you have, like, for example, I'm searching for my snare. Where is my snare? It's here. For example, with snares, I'm working pretty hard with snares. Wait, I need to find the channel. First thing is I cut the low frequencies, of course. Every percussion, like claps, hi-hats, snares, or yeah, whatever you use, shakers, rim shots, cymbals, crashes, everything needs to be cutted below 100 Hertz. And that is because the frequencies, you can see it here, there's a big amount of low end in this snare, but I just removed it because it will interrupt with your bass and your kick drum, and your bass and your kick drum is like the most important point of your track. And when your kick and your bass isn't right, or it is muddy because of a snare low end, or a rim shot low end, or a tom low end in your mix, then the whole mix is doomed. So there's no way to not low cut. Even like lead sounds, I'm low cutting. You see everything. And I'm very careful with boosting. For example, here you can see that I'm like boosting nothing. Pretty much nothing. It is ridiculous. It is nothing. It's just plus 0.27 dB at 2477 Hertz. So it's nothing. And Here I'm doing a bit more. It's like plus 180, and yeah. What I found out, which a couple of friends showed me, is that there is that region between 9,600 and 11,000 hertz, which is if you want to add some freshness to your mix, it's just you just can make a little peak about 2 dB with a very tight Q, which gives the freshness. You can see it here. That is the point where it comes to freshness from. And so if you want to add some freshness to your lead sounds, and yeah, go for something like this. I'm using the FabFilter Pro Q, which is yeah, in my opinion, like the best software EQ around. And I'm using also a couple of UAD EQs, but not in every track, to be honest, because I have yeah, I have a channel strip which I'm using like pretty much every time. So for example, I'm putting a new instant of massive in a track. I'm having here like my preset, which is a binaural pen. So I can choose here with this one the stereo whiteness. So 100% is so everything is not like normal in the middle, and or a bit on the sides, of course. But you can stretch your sounds very wide, very wide to the sides of the speakers, and that is very important because your tracks cannot become big if everything is in the middle and right in your face. My friend Zenworld, and I just can recommend you to watch his tutorials, because this is something what he explains a lot. If you design a sound and you make it, for example here massive, you make it monophone, that you can only play one note, and you keep the pan position like in the middle, then it is straight in the middle. Drop sounds or bass sounds or something like this, you want to have everything in the middle, and but you, for example, you spice up your drop. Let me check this drop for a second. Yeah. So we have this sound, it's a massive instance, and this one is on the sides, for example, and you see I kept it as normal, it's a bit on the sides, but then there is this layer, which is from Silence 1. It is a mono sound, but it is stretched way more to the sides. So you have to find the right balance between everything. So when you have like, in this case, the drop has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers in the end, 6 layers. You have to find the right balance of sound imaging, of stereo imaging, because it's very important. If you have everything in the middle, it never sounds fat. You have to do like saw leads, push them wide, and Zenworld explain it in a good way. In Spire, I'm using also Spire like he does, and there is this whiteness stuff going on here. You have that white button where you can make your sounds wider, and which is very important in my opinion, and not in my opinion only, because if you want to have a deal at the good label, at the big label, you have to be like one of the top producers around. So, and then you have to do what the top guys does, and that is just simply they keep everything perfect. Even if you have like smaller elements in your track, never pan them in the middle or wide. You can pan something more to the right, more to the left. That gives a dynamic range. You can also make pan automations. I guess I'm having somewhere well prepared. I could swear I have here something. Yeah, I did it here. Here. There is a good example. This is a snare, and it goes very fast in this sinus wave with the panning. So you can see it's freaking out because it's so fast, but it makes a difference. It is a little difference, but it makes a difference. And if you have like 10 little things in your mix which are different, then it is good, in my opinion. But you have to find your own way, of course. I'm just explaining you how I do my stuff. And yeah. So, what else? Yeah, I'm keeping an eye of everything that I never go above -5 dB. This is, for example, this is for the headroom of the mastering and everything. And yeah, it's interesting thing that mastering. I have to be honest, I'm not that much in mastering right now. I'm happy that there are a couple of people in the future. I hope so, that they will do it for me. What I do a couple of times is I'm choosing this phase meter, taking a low cut EQ, because you want everything below 100 Hertz, you want it mono. In the mastering, you do everything below 100 Hertz in mono. And yeah, why is that? Because it's the bass sound and it needs to be straight in the middle and straight in your face. So what I'm doing a couple of times is I low cut my master channel, and you see here that is from the noise in the background which the virus creates. And but when I do now, this line here is the middle, and so this is the stereo field, so it goes in the whiteness. So the more round this stuff is, the more good it is for your stereo imaging. But I low cut it here now, like everything until 100 Hertz comes now out. So you see this should, if the track is mixed right, this is the big surprise, should be more in the middle and not that wide like it is. So we test it out. I never did it before, so I don't know how it goes, how it will end up, but let's see. Yeah, you see here, there is this beautiful middle line, because that is just the low end, and I kept it very, very much in the center. That's good in the end. So when I activate it now, you see here, it goes more wide. But this is, for example, this is the drop. And the drop is more in the middle than the lead area. So for example, when I show you now the lead, it's like, you see here, it's very, very wide in the stereo field. It goes like to the max. And now it comes with the kick and the bass. And so let's see what happens here. So you see, it's beautiful in the middle, below 100 Hertz. So I took care of pretty much everything. And so this is the right way, if you do it right. But as long as you don't know how to do it right, you will do it wrong. So it's a good way to watch tutorials on YouTube. I've learned a lot over tutorials. I learned a lot of from people like Dov Elkebas, aka the Prophet, Rick Mitchells from Mainstage Music, which is a good friend of mine, and explained me a lot of stuff where I'm very thankful for. And I would like to share this knowledge with you. And so this is just like this is the turnover part to the drop, where everything is getting lifted up. So when you have like the melody part with the kick drum, then there have to be this lift up part, which leads people to the drop. The vocal which is coming is just for fitting the space. I'm getting different vocals. So you see, you lift the people, you lift the people, you lift the people. And it has to be like a journey where the emotion goes up and up and up and up and up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up and up again. So it's not like up, 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 that you start from the melody till the end of your drop, that it goes up, up, up. You have to take people with you on a journey, with your music, with your emotions, and with everything. And yeah, that's how a track has to be done. This was just like a test for, not the test is the wrong word. This was just something, if you like what I'm explaining, if you have some questions, you can leave your questions in the comment field on evolution of sound, and they will get forwarded to me, and I can explain you more detailed things. If you would like to know, for example, how to make certain sounds from scratch, because I'm not a fan of making a preset from, okay, for example, I've heard at Hartwell there he has used this in this preset, so I don't try to achieve that. I try to achieve my own sounds. I try to achieve everything from scratch. And you see here is untitled sound. It's like it's from scratch, and I can go through as we want. This one is also from scratch. This one is from the amazing Zen World sound bank. You can buy it online. Check out his page, facebook.com/zenworldmusic, and using a couple of sounds from that guy. He's one of the founders of Evolution of Sound. And for example, here it's like it's an init preset. I started this sound from scratch, which sounds like this. Which is cool for drops. In my opinion. And we can talk about sound design, we can talk about mixing, we can talk about arrangements of tracks. What I do a lot of times is I take a track which I like, I copy the waveform into a new project, and then I look for the arrangement, what that guy does, and then I don't rebuild it, I do my own stuff, but I'm looking that I get a certain point of same arrangement, which is in my opinion cool. It's cool when you do it as long as you put your own flavor in it, especially, or when you take a MIDI from a big artist. You can use, for example, the timing or the grid, but do something of your own. It's an important thing that you put your own intentions into your music, because if you walk in somebody's shoes, you will never leave your own footprints. And that is what I try to do. That is why I make my music more complex than maybe some others. And yeah, not sure if I have everything till now, but as I told you, this is just something like our first date. And if you want to date me again, just tell me what you want to have explained. You can check out my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Teknoclash, but techno, it's different spelled. It's not techno, it's techno. It's Teknoclash. It's TEKNOCLASH. I wasn't. I knew how to spell it, but I was open it that I can show it to you. Yeah, as I told you, that was our first date. If you are interested, feel free to leave a comment or something else. Leave an email for technoclash@gmail.com, or contact me over Facebook, contact the Evolution of Sound team. What you want to know, if you want something to know which I can explain you if you are producing with Studio One, or if you have something for mixing, or yeah, for how to make a track better, feel free to leave a comment. I try to pick them up, and then we see us again.